Man, that battle between Robin and Black Maria was actually pretty awesome, especially in the fact that it kept with a lot of the things that we already knew about Robin and we kind of expected in certain degrees. Although I feel like certain people are kind of overhyping certain aspects of what happened. Now, Robin having a big version of herself and the massive string of arms was pretty damn awesome. But also keeping in line the fact that if you slice at those hands, Robin is still injured. And that's always kind of been my argument against why Robin doesn't really fight that much because, well, she still feels the pain if one of her duplicate limbs get injured. That's the major weakness for Robin. Now, a lot of people say that she could get around that by learning hockey or some of the six powers, the Rokushiki techniques. We get a little bit of why that's not really Robin's thing here. Not really an explanation, but it's kind of alluded to. Especially because Black Maria, she's whipping out abilities left and right. Between her polearm weapon, where she's just slicing up Robin left, right, and center, the fact that her spider legs have poison on them, they're poison tipped apparently, and the fact that she can produce webs from her hands. And is it me or is it just weird that so many of Black Maria's attack names, especially when it comes to her webbing and stuff, is all like has her name in it? Like when she captures Robin's multiple hands when her spider webs, it's called Marionette. I'm just like, and Black Maria, as she just makes it so that Robin is stuck in place, she calls it Miriapprehend. And I'm just like, Black Maria, no. This is kind of lame. Although it gets a whole lot less lame when Black Maria just goes in and starts wailing on Robin. And I'm just like, man, we don't get a lot of female characters who will just go up and deck you right in the face. It's pretty metal, especially when Robin starts just bleeding from the face because Black Maria is laying into her giant duplicate form, who has these, I guess, weird arms covering her giant duplicate titties. I'm really unclear on how that giant Robin thing works. But with all the damage Robin sustains, she undoes her giant stand form, basically. And despite the fact that Robin tries to go in and capture her, and let's not be clear, Robin doing all these giant hands, which aren't just formed out of multiple hands, I think they're actually just giant Robin hands. And so her doing all of this is really taking it out of her. And Black Maria is able to defend with an ability called Murray-side, which is just like blocks everything off with spider webs, but apparently the spider that she's attached to is able to breathe fire with an attack called Murray Arson. And I'm just like, it's just arson, woman. And Black Maria gets Robin pretty much stuck between flames and her. And she's just like, ooh, with all these flames, do you want to call over the skeleton? And Brooke, still being an ally, is just like, you said something stupid, Black Maria. You should probably run for your life. As Black Maria is just wailing on Robin left, right, and center. Like, straight up has her against the ropes. We didn't actually get a flashback to when Robin was with the revolutionaries, and it finally is kind of clicking in my mind why it's taken so long to actually see Robin involved in a fight, because she was with the revolutionaries, and it would have been a massive spoiler about not just Koala but Sabo as well had we gotten that at any point during Dressrosa. We could have had this during Dressrosa, but before Dressrosa, not so much. So I am questioning that, but having this here, we actually see Robin kind of dismissing the fact that both Koala and Saba wanted to teach her martial arts. They actually went in trying to get her to learn martial arts. And Robin kind of, poo-pooed it away, with Hack even saying, like, oh, okay, she's pretty good with, like, her joint locks and all of that stuff. That's her way of fighting, so just leave her alone. Although she does decide to learn one of the palm thrusts from Koala, one of the fishman karate techniques, if nothing else. And Robin has used that when she's, used that to push off of certain things that the Sunny almost rammed into, especially when they were heading down a Fishman Island. So we have seen it a little bit, just it's not really her thing too much. And even when it comes to using it offensively, she only uses it on the ceiling upward in order to break off some debris to put out the fire below. But that's when Robin decides to start playing hardball, and she summons something called the Demonio Fleur, and it's the representation of her as a demon. And it's all blackened, but I feel like that's shadow. I feel like that's just shadow. And Black Maria freaks out as this thing just captures her and completely restrains Black Maria and just crunch. Like, there's this massive popping sound as Black Maria is completely taken out of commission by this massive demonic Robin form. And it's pretty unclear to me as well if this thing formed around Robin or if this just formed in front of Robin. Like, I feel like there are some things that are kind of unclear about this form that the anime is definitely needed to clear this up, and the anime has been just doing this left and right, clearing up things that seem a little uncertain. And I love it when a lot of Black Maria's minions go peeking in, because oddly enough, Brooke was able to make these giant ice wall with this thin slit that the subordinates could see through, but this was in an effort to get them to all line up. And I love it when they see Robin's demonic form and they freak out a bit as Brooke just comes dashing downward as he shoos away all of the ice, has that all crumble away. All of the girls are just in this straight line, and he comes in with this new attack called Phrase der Arms Orchestra as he makes this giant, I think it's a clef note or something. I'm very music illiterate, but this giant slashing like ice attack, and he completely dominates all of them in a single instant as Brooke goes running over to get Robin as she is just exhausted forever from everything that she did. And we see one of the Marys saw everything that went down. So this was one of the better battles, honestly. Aside from the fight that happened on the roof, this is the second best battle in this entire story arc, and it came from Robin, someone we don't really see battle that often. I'm never sorry about feeling that Robin doesn't technically need to fight, because between her and Nami, they have uses outside of combat. Same thing with Chopper. Even with Usopp, direct combat isn't really their thing. Usopp's long distance, Nami's the navigator, Chopper is the doctor. Hell, even Sanji doesn't necessarily need to be a combatant, he's the cook. But on the other hand, it's nice to see the Straw Hats are all able to hold their own, even if they hold roles in the crew that aren't the most combat specific. The fact that they can throw down this well against such high ranking opponents is pretty fabulous. And we wrap things up by the fact that everybody predicted it. Caribou had a whole bunch of food stored in his infinite swamp. And Luffy is dining on, as people have put it, Caribou's swamp meat. Ugh. And Luffy's just scarfing it down left, right, and center, with Jean Bart asking if Luffy knows what's going on with Law, Beppo, and the others who had went to Onigashima. I'm not sure if Penguin and Sachi went with them. I feel like Penguin and Sachi went with, because, I think Kid also took, like, the core of his group in on the raid. Like, Kid didn't take all of his boys, he just took Killer, Heat, and Wire, because they're the more notable members. Although we haven't really seen a lot of Apu or even Hawkins' crew, for the most part. They don't really have any notable members that were really pointed out. Like, I know everybody's wondering where Hawkins' one crewmate Faust the cat mink is, but we get an interesting scene towards the end where Momonosuke, of all things, asks Shinobu to age him up using her ripe fruit abilities. And Shinobu kind of makes it seem like she could do it, but it's an irreversible technique. Unlike with Jewelry Bonnie's ability, where she can change someone from a child to an adult, everywhere in between. And beyond that, I think. I don't know if she can age someone to the point where they turn to dust, honestly. But, will this actually happen? Will Shinobu actually age Momonosuke up? Which will kind of suck. That's a major sacrifice. How many years of Momonosuke's life will he completely lose out on because he did that? But at least he'll be a bigger dragon, but that doesn't mean he'll have enough control over his devil fruit. Just because he's aged up doesn't mean he will be as capable or as combat oriented as he might hope. So I'm not sure if Shinobu will actually do this. I could see this not actually happening. But if it does happen, that would be pretty ballsy on Oda's part. It's an interesting way to go for Momonosuke's character. But all in all, I was just thrilled to see Robin throw down and show Black Maria the business. A little bit of action from Brook too, which was also nice to see. And honestly, I would love to see Robin actually pull off more combat oriented moves because her devil fruit would really apply well to it. And I think that's why Oda hasn't done it, because then Robin really would become a force of nature if you just had arms coming out of nowhere, hockeyed up, using like finger pistols left, right, and center out of nowhere. It would be dangerous. Like, she would be the most dangerous assassin. So I think Oda is just going to keep her at a medium amount of skill and ability until maybe the end. Who knows? Maybe she'll start whipping out hockey techniques left, right, center. But I don't think that demon form of hers was covered in hockey. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that was not armament hockey, but if you believe otherwise, please state it in the comment section below. What makes you think that that was armament hockey when we've never even remotely seen Robin use that in any other way, shape, or form? It seems a little bit extreme for her to just go from none to all the armament hockey just for that moment, but I mean, why not? But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that Momonosuke will actually be able to be aged up to an adult, and will he be effective in that form? I'm interested to hear from you, so please let me know. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I will see you later. Bye bye.